I'm Mayor Waller, and I'm the mayor of the village of Minerva.
And I'm Tim Tarbett. I'm currently a councilman on the village for the village of Minerva.
How long have you been in office?
I think that's for you.
Is that for me or is that for?
Or is that for me, huh?
That's for you, Mr. Wall.
Mr.
For
Waller.
me? Would you ask me that again, please?
How long have you been in office?
I've been mayor this is my 28th year. And then I was on council for 14 years prior to that.
You think you will like being mayor, Mr. Tarbett?
Yes, I am very excited about being mayor. I'll be the first one to admit that it's tough taking over a job from a gentleman that's had this job as long as Jim. And I got some big shoes to fill to become mayor of the village.
How many more council members are there?
There's 3 other ones. We have 4 council members and the mayor.
Mr. Waller, did you like being mayor?
Do I like being mayor? Yes. Yes, I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
It's been fun and interesting.
All right, that takes up another question I have. Why or why not under here too? But that's Kayla's turn. Do you think it will always feel like a big responsibility?
Can you repeat that, hun, once?
Do you think it will always feel like a big responsibility?
Yeah, there is when you accept something like this and have a position, there is a huge responsibility that goes along with that. We're responsible to the residents of this village. We have connections with people outside the village, in Paris West Township, because the township, we're always tied to others. And we are the ones that are financially, we have that responsibility to manage the tax dollars that we receive. So, yeah, it's a big responsibility.
Did you want to be mayor when you were a kid? You can both answer this question, but we should probably start with Mr. Tarbett.
Did I always want to be mayor in Minerva? You know, that's an open-ended question. I'm not sure that at one point in my life that I was thought that I would ever acquire to be the mayor of Minerva. But as I grew up here, I'm a lifelong resident here. I graduated from Minerva High School, and all but a couple of years, my wife and my family have all lived here. So when I got on the council, I felt it was important to get involved more. And now with the mayor, stepping into the mayor slot, I feel that's another step that I wanted to be in this job. So
I did until I got a little older, okay? I had no thoughts of being a mayor until I got involved. And once I got involved, I enjoyed it, so I stayed.
That's it. That's it. I might have more. Mr. Waller already answered one of the questions, so unless Kaylee has more typed out, then
What, as being mayor, would you be in charge of?
What am I in charge? The mayor's in charge of? Really, the mayor's in charge of the meetings and being a spokesperson for the village and our meetings and so on. Because the mayor and council all have the same responsibilities and essentially the same amount of authority. So Trudy's just being a spokesperson and representing the village.
Okay, Addie.
Mr. Tarbett, how long do you want to be mayor?
how long do I want to be mayor? You know, that's a great question. How long would I want to be mayor? Well, I'll have a 4-year term to start, At my age, I'm not sure I can make 28 years like Mr. Waller here, but I would be happy to serve for that long if I was capable.
How long have you been on the council?
I've just ended my 4th year, which is in Minerva, your terms are for 4 years. So council and the mayor each have, when elected, have a 4-year term.
Do you manage the amount of money you receive, and if so, is it hard not to just, hard to amount your money properly?
Go ahead.
It can be very tough sometimes because you have to be very meticulous about where that money goes. You have to remember, one of the things the village does is provide some basic services, right? Police department for safety, water, the water department for water supply, the sewer department for that type work. We have a parks department, we have a street department that takes care of the roads. So they each require funding, and we have to take the total amount of money we are allotted and work with all the departments and make sure that they have enough money to fund their needs so that the services continue for the public.
Whenever your term ends and if you don't get reelected, what would you do then?
I'm not sure. I gotta find out here in a minute. I'm gonna find something to do, but I'm not sure what yet.
Wait, so you can still be mayor. Do mayors have to pay taxes? Do mayors have to pay taxes?
Do mayors have to pay taxes? Yes. We pay the same as your parents or anybody else who lives in the village, yes.
Are you planning to be reelected for at least 1 year?
I'm just starting I'll start January 1, first of my 4-year term. What are my plans when I get to the end of the 4-year term? I would probably say if my health was good and everything, I would probably run again. But I'd like to have a second term, sure.
This is on the meeting side of it, but how many meetings do you have average without each other?
How many meetings a year?
Well, we have 26. We have 2 a month. That's 24, huh? I thought you were the math class. We have at least 2 a month that we're required to have. And then it just depends on if we have projects going or something.
What is the total income for taxes?
Phew, what do we take in? Our budget for the year is about, I think this year was somewhere over 6 million. But we don't take that in every year because we'll have about close to half of that left over. So somewhere $3 to $4 million.
Yeah, I think the budget runs right around $3 million. We always have operating money then besides that. So we don't, like Jim said, we don't spend every year, we don't spend everything we get. So some of it rolls over because we may have a big project next year that we need to roll some money over to make that work for us.
Were there any major problems when you were mayor?
Was there any major problem? No, I don't believe it. You know, some was a little harder to deal with than others, but no. And you got good people that we work with, our employees and the other council members and our administrator. So now we can, some days you scratch your head and say, oh boy, but no, we get it straightened out.
Maybe real quick, I'll just share with you all so you understand a little bit about the structure of the government in Minerva, since you're talking about that. We're a charter village. We have a village charter, which is almost like a contract kind of thing, which spells out how everything works. All right? So how the structure's set up, we have a council made up of a mayor and 4 council people. There's only one person that works for the village that reports to council. So if you kind of think about us up on the top, the next person down is a village administrator. He handles all the day-to-day operations of the village. And working for him then are all the departments. So the taxation department, the water and sewer department, the street department, the water and sewer departments, they all report to him, not the council. And the police chief also reports to the village administrator. So there's no village employees that report directly to us, only the village administrator. So that's how we're structured, kind of our, I call it a organizational chart is how. So you kind of picture that, anything that happens day to day, the administrator gets, and then the administrator will be at our meetings, because he'll bring us up to date on what's going on with this or that, all the little details. Okay? And then our police chief comes in once a quarter.
Yeah.
And will bring us up to date with what's going on with the police department, since it's the largest department within the village, is the police department. So he reports once a quarter. He doesn't have to, basically, but we've asked him to do that, so.